Alright guys, now that you've contacted your suppliers, it's time to get samples from them so that we can see what the final product will look like and we have an idea of quality. So there's a few ways to save money on samples. As you'll probably notice that they're going to charge you quite a bit of money. As I said before, I've seen pricing go all the way up to $150 for a single sample. And the reason they do this is they're trying to make a bit of money out of you if you don't decide to go with them. And on top of it, they say they're not charging you for the actual product, they're charging you just for the shipping. So what we can do is we can actually maximize our time and our money spent. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask for multiple samples. So if you're contacting a supplier, for example our sleeping bag material, our sleeping bag company, we're going to ask for multiple samples within that one shipment of our sample shipment. So we'll ask for multiple colors. For example, we can have multiple colors of our material sent. Maybe they'll send us full samples of the sleeping bag liner, or they'll send us a full sleeping bag liner with multiple swatches of different colors or different materials. The same goes with a sweater. If you're ordering a sweater and they have different styles and different colors, you might ask for swatches of different materials, but one full jersey or multiple full sweaters, which I highly doubt they'll do. They don't usually do that, but they'll send you swatches for multiple samples. So try do that, try get multiple samples from your supplier just to maximize your time and so that you have it for future reference if you do decide to expand your product line. Then we could use a sourcing agent. Now what a sourcing agent will do is they're one person in China and they'll contact all your suppliers once you've contacted them, and you'll put them in touch with them, and they'll get the samples from all the suppliers and send it to you in one shipment. So that'll just save you a ton of money and a ton of shipping costs. Or they'll find suppliers for you as well. So you could use a sourcing agent to find suppliers for you, which I don't really recommend, because I like to have a connection with my supplier on their own. Again, we're just adding in a middleman then, and they could be adding their own markup or taking their own cut of the profits. So I suggest just using a sourcing agent for the samples. Then you could use your sample for photos. So what you want to do is, while your product's getting manufactured, we're going to use that time. Usually it's a big chunk of time, so up to 30 days. While our product's getting manufactured, we don't just want to sit around and do nothing. We want to get our stuff going and be productive. So we're going to set up our listing during that time and get our samples shipped to us so that we can take photos of the sample for the listing. For example, I was sent this, which is basically a bathroom soap dispenser with multiple compartments so that you can put soap in the side, maybe a toothbrush in that side, and some soap in the middle. So I got this sent to me while it was being manufactured, and during that time I took photos of the product for my Amazon listing, and I set up my Amazon listing in the time. So we're just trying to save some time here. And then what we can do with the samples is, once we've got our sample, we've got one final thing. We could Photoshop our logo onto it instead of getting us sent the final sample, depending on how much you're private labeling your product. If you're just putting a simple label on it, you don't really need that in your photos in the end. But in the future we could get our final product sent to us. That's basically it for samples.